Peace and love. This is Brother Faheem, and you are now tuned into the Lead with Logic podcast. Hey, you know the vibes. Peace. What's going on? Y'all? This is Brother Faheem, and you are now tuned into another episode of the Lead with Logic podcast. Man, welcome. Welcome to all my old and new. Everybody's viewing, everybody's tuned in. Man, life moves at such an ultra magnetic pace. I try to keep my boots laced so that I can win the race. Man, for my first time viewers, for those people who may not be acquainted with just who Brother Faheem is, check this out. What I like to do here is I take the controversial, the sensational, and the mundane, and through objective data, right? Peer-reviewed journals, articles, books, interviews, documentary clips. I utilize all of these resources so that I can now extract knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that people can live life in 3D and their enlightenment can be enhanced. So, uh, Lead with Logic is a brand, a saying, and a podcast. Now, I'm going to go backwards. Y'all are watching the podcast every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Lead with Logic YouTube channel. You can check me out. The saying, Lead with Logic, every letter is an acronym, right? It stands for something. It stands for letting enlightenment and divinity win in this harsh level of God's infinite creation. That's what Lead with Logic stands for, right? When you see those letters, that's exactly what it means. And the brand, you guys can go on over to leadwithlogic7.com. Excuse me, Lead with Logic. Yeah, leadwithlogic7.com. I'm reading comments and talking at the same time. Forgive me. But leadwithlogic7.com. You go on over there. I'm going to put it in the comments and put it on the screen. Leadwithlogic7.com. That's where you can get your hats, your hoodies, and your tees, and whatever else it is that you please. I want you guys to get behind the movement. You know, the way to show support is not only to please like and subscribe, but it's also to go to the website, check out the gear, pick something up that you like, and hey, like I said, get with it, get with this movement. So support the brother man before you support the other man, because that's truly how you affect change, right? Man, there's so much going on in the world. It's been a lot, you know, never short of content. Content creators should never, ever be without something to analyze and break down. I know I'm not. You know, it's always some shit I can talk about. But man, what has been going on? What is happening? Hopefully you guys having a good Monday. It's not blue. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, everything is flowing smooth, right? Everything is smooth like butter. Yeah, hopefully it's all smooth like butter. But a couple of topics that I want to talk about. You know, everything that I try to talk about is something that we can utilize, something to invoke critical thought, something to understand what is really happening, right? Because what happens is a lot of time there's a such thing as groupthink, and what groupthink is essentially people follow a chain, or people follow the crowd when it comes to thinking. As a kid, I remember my mother used to say, and my father too, he used to always say, if such and such was jumping off the cliff, would you jump off of it? And I would say, no, dad, no, mom. But as we get older, you know, we feel the peer pressure. It's easier said than done, right? Everybody is a leader when they're sitting in front of their parent that means well for them. But when you get out into the world and you feel lonesome and you're by yourself and you want to belong, you want to fit in, then that answer might take a totally different turn. And so essentially, group think is when people now follow the crowd. They jump off the proverbial train of thought cliff, if that makes sense. And when that happens, you know, just like when you jump off a cliff, you crash and burn, right? You crash and burn. And so I really try to help people back from the ledge. I try to help people from what's going on. What do you mean the mic's not on?
You can't hear it on the TV.
Turn it up.
Mhm.
Turn it up. Go out of there and then turn it on. That should help. That should work. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah. So I try to pull people back off the proverbial cliff. Yeah. And the only way to do that is through critical thought. But to be a critical thinker is more than just a notion, y'all. You have to get down into the weeds. Anything worth having is worth working for. Even your thoughts, even what's inside of your mind, right? Everything starts with the mind. Everything. And so I really try to affect it, man, and help people think more logically. That's why I advocate so hard for thinking logically, right? Being logical uh, with your mentality and your psychology. So, but yeah. So, what is going on today? Let me read a few comments. I appreciate you guys. Let me highlight. If you guys talk, I'm gonna talk back. You know, you talk black, I talk black to you. Hey, listen, I got five of y'all. Please, whoever you, whoever you are, wherever you at, wherever you are, please get in on this quick. You dig what I'm saying? Monique Johnson, greetings. Yes. I see you, Monique. I see you. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this so that we can get. Hold on. I'm gonna do something. I should have done. Hold on. Y'all keep on here. Boom. There we go. Okay. So let's put some. Monique says, never knew that. I think she was referring to what Leave of Logic, the acronym stands for, letting enlightenment and divinity win in its harsh level of God's infinite creation. Yeah, that's what Leave of Logic stands for. Absolutely. Turhan Ice, that's the brother Ice. That's my big bro. Ice Cold. What's going on, big brother? If you talk black, I'll talk back. Hey, that's the whole point of this thing. That's the whole point of this thing. Yep. Yeah, y'all invite some people. Like I always tell people, I meant to let me say that too. Y'all making me forget my spiel. Damn, I'm getting nervous. No, if you're on YouTube, listen, copy that link, share it out, send it out to 10 of your people. Let's get them in here because we're going to do some cooking. We're going to do some grilling. We're going to do some analyzing of everything that's going on so that we have a proper understanding of it, right? If you're on Facebook, hey, listen, same thing, repost it to your page, send it to your direct messenger, right? Send it to more people's direct messages so they can come on in. This is real talk with real people. And I like to tell people this, this is a dialogue being executed as a monologue, right? It's a dialogue being executed as a monologue. So while I'm the only one up here physically speaking, you guys please talk to me and I will talk back. So what just gonna say it. Well, just tell them that I said you got to finish your work and she can watch it later. Sorry about that, you guys. I got to put out fires. Hey, man, look, when you're a parent, you always putting fires. It's like being a firefighter. You always putting the fires out. But anyhow, welcome, you guys. Welcome. What are we going to discuss today? What has been happening in the world as these numbers go up, as the people come on in? Well, first and foremost, I saw something that was disheartening. I think I spoke about this last time I did. I talked about Dr. Umar on my last bill. He had spoken about needing money, right? He had spoken about his school uh, being in danger, and it was kind of awful. No, it wasn't kind of. It was very awful. But nonetheless, Dr. Umar spoke about uh, the school leaving, but he came on recently, excuse me, and said that his school was up for auction. That they were taking the the FDMG school, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey school that he's been building for years, right? He's been trying to build this thing for years, at least a decade. Now it is up for sale. And so it's being taken from up on them and it's caused a shock. It's called a wave throughout the black community throughout the conscious community because Umar is a great orator. Umar is a huge personality online. Umar is, I would say, an impactful and influential person in the black community. I mean, you've seen him. You can type in Umar on YouTube or any other platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever, and you're gonna see a myriad, a plethora of uh, videos come up, and he says a lot of great things. Right? Um, I don't agree with everything Umar says. I don't. I really do not. I don't agree with his methodology at times. Right? When they go low, he goes to hell. Uh, he can become distracted, and I talked about that. But I do respect anybody, especially a brother or sister, trying to create something and build something for the future of the community, and that's what he was trying to do. Now, how he manages money, how he delegates as a leader, these things are all now in question, and apparently they're impacting his process, his progress. Let me say that they're impacting his progress, and so permanent residency, ICE, permanent residency, brother, permanent residency. But yeah, it's impacting Umar's process with what he has going on. So we'll look at a little bit of that. The next thing that I wanted to speak about was Shakari Richardson, right? Shakari Richardson. And again, I'm using these instances as case studies because there's a deeper meaning to all of this stuff, right? And we're gonna get into it with Shakari Richardson when she got arrested. Um, that's crazy. That's really crazy. The way that it happened, when it was reported, you know, she they had it on camera. She pushed the young fella, and you know, when the police came, she of course lied. And what saved the brother, excuse me, who was another Olympian. What saved him was the cameras that are right inside the airport. It almost makes you say, God dang, she don't realize that you being surveyed, you being watched. Y'all don't know that? Put a one if you realize you're being watched as from the moment you walk into the airport. There are eyes on you. I mean, whether it's fellow uh, people who are going to be fellow passengers, fellow travelers. Peace, 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 peace. I see you, Mystic. Whether it's fellow travelers, whether it's TSA, whether it's airline workers, everybody's watching you. They have cameras on you, so it's best to act accordingly. If you're trying to get to your destination safely and on sound, so and on time. Excuse me, safe and sound. So yeah, what would cause now Sister Shakara, and she apologized, but now what would cause her to do that? Why would she do that? And she, gave a fight, all that stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's real ridiculous. But last but not least, the Soul Train Awards. Yeah, the Soul Train and the BET Awards was canceled off of BET. Yeah, it was canceled off of BET. Not canceled, excuse me, suspended. It was suspended. Yeah, it was suspended, and that's crazy. That's really, really crazy that it got suspended. I can't say that I'm surprised or that I'm not happy, right? I can't say that I'm upset because, as with a lot of things within black culture, we seem to be people who are the most influential with culture. Our culture is the most influential, but we have the least amount of control, or at least we try to exercise the least amount of control over it, right? And these things happen. Uh, I think to myself sometime, man, these topics get circular. These conversations that I'm having, they become circular, Uh, and I guess that's debatable. But really, the issue is a lot of these lessons at the collective level we haven't learned. We haven't had the analysis. We don't have the logical thought process to see, hey, if this plus this, if we take this and add it to this, it's going to produce this. Or if we take this and subtract this, it's going to produce that. And so, whatever lesson that you don't learn, you're bound to repeat it, right? Um, yeah, and that's in older days too. People who don't learn the history are bound to repeat it. That's something that I learned in school. But yeah, man, kind of chill today, kind of chill. But I'm still gonna have a little bit of fun with you guys. And again, it's for you guys in here. Hey, please, 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 talk black to me, because I'll talk black right back. So, with that being said, let's look at what Dr. Umar had to say about his about the foreclosure. When I saw it, I was like, damn, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It says, hopefully you guys, like I say, y'all Monday is great. Y'all rolling with it. Y'all rolling with the punches. Um, and the weather's not too bad. Hey, some of y'all still ain't in school, man. I was surprised to hear that some of the kids in different states, they still out of school. I know my kids, they've been back for at least almost 3 weeks now. Yeah, so it's back to business, buddy. Yeah, it's back to business. But yeah, it's been a whole lot of Umar bashing. It's been a lot of bashing, of this brother. And again, I'm under the act that when people who are great, when great leaders begin to now fall, I try to learn. I try to learn what I can learn. I'm going to play this for you. Let me play this. This is a little. This is a short of Dr. Umar explaining his circumstance, because it's now been elevated, right? It was just he needed money. That was the first thing. He needed money. But now it's elevated to the school is getting put up on the auction block, which is horrible. That's where you never want to be personally or professionally. You never want to be there. Never, ever, ever. So hold on. Hold on. Now, you know what? This clip that I'm going to show you, it's going to include another brother. Let me introduce this right. It's going to include a brother that I listen to. His name is Marquette. He calls himself the Saint. You can put a one in the chat if you know who the Saint is. He says some pretty controversial things, right? Anytime black people I've seen online, anytime we are conservative and we now have a critique for black people online, you're automatically going to be dubbed the villain. And I get it. For me, I really, as a person who loves to learn and really craves understanding of the science of life, I understand and I get where you need counter arguments, right? You need somebody with a perspective or facts that might counter yours so that you can understand the wealth or the totality of the circumstance. I only say about these content creators who are black conservatives, they are going to lose a lot of the black community with the excessive criticism of black people and black culture, especially if it's something that is reflective. It's not necessarily a black thing, it's a human thing, right? It's like a stereotype when people say, well, black people love fried chicken. That's true. But guess what? So do Hispanic people, or so do brown people, so do yellow people, so do white people. Everybody likes fried chicken. It's not just a staple in our community. Now, the same with criticism. Some of the criticism we can now make caricatures. It can become a caricature if we're not careful, if we decide to now get excessive. That's the only real issue that I be having with some of the conservatives. They're not all like that, but some of them absolutely can be. Candace Owens, while I respect what she says, she's very well researched. She's very knowledgeable. She can now get to the point where she could cross over into waters that some like Tariq Nasheed would consider her to be a coon. And I wouldn't call her that, but I understand how he could come to that conclusion because now you're criticizing people for things and you're saying that, hey, this is the issue with you people when that exists within every group of people. You see what I'm saying? It's because you darkies eat fried chicken is the reason y'all skin is like that. No, it's not everybody eat fried chicken. What about we might not drink water? What about we might not exercise? What about we might eat processed foods? What about those things? For you to just call out one, that's kind of ignorant. So that'd be my issue with people like that. But I digress. Now, on this clip, we're going to get a little bit of Dr. Umar saying what is going on or expressing what is happening with his school or with his, proposed school, the school he's trying to be is trying to build for the longest. And then you're going to see Marquette with a proposal for the brother. So I want y'all to check this out. Look at this. Sometimes you got to be smarter than the machine, I guess. Okay, here we go. That's why it's good to take your time, y'all. Just breathe, and stop for real. Here we go.
Handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees, they will sell our campus.
My understanding is that Dr. Umar owes approximately 38,000 US dollars. I will write the check for 40,000 or so, however many dollars it is, in exchange for control of one of those buildings. There will be nothing worse than you missing the opportunity that I'm offering for us to save your project, save the valuable dollars donated by the people who support you. And if you don't take my offer and you allow the school to go to the hands of those you would consider the enemy, this will be probably the end of your social media career and your ability to raise capital. So I just want it to be known to the public, and please do share this because it's sincere. Don't miss this opportunity. You have a chance to save your school.
The city of Wilmington put a notice.
That was the saint giving if y'all can hear, I think she was saying no sound. Okay, yeah, it wasn't no sound on there, Mystic. I couldn't click it down. That's why I said you gotta be smarter than the machine. But you saw a little bit. I'm gonna try to get another one. Maybe I'll try to. Nah, y'all understand what he's saying. You know, he's saying that they put some notices on the door, letting them know, hey, look, you owe some money. Now he didn't say how much that he owed, but Saint said it was 38,000. And one wonders, like, wow, how do you get in arrears $38,000? Dr. Umar, I remember writing to someone, having a discussion with someone, remembering how Minister Farrakhan rebuilt, when he rebuilt the Nation of Islam, I want to say in 1981, the way that he rebuilt it was by saving the money or utilizing the money that he used on his speaking engagements, on his speaking tours, right? And so with Dr. Umar being such a highly touted and a highly sought after speaker, one wonders, where did that money go? Where's the money going? Now, there are people who, when I look online, there are people saying prison time. They're saying that the school's going to be auctioned off. People saying a lot of things. But I think there are a lot of things to be learned from this. Number one, you know, if you are not a donor, then you're not owed an explanation. Let me put that out there as well. And I said this before. There should be no criticism of Dr. Umar if you did not donate to his cause, because that makes you a hypocrite. It's just like when people say, well, you didn't vote, you don't have a say. Hey, there you go. It's the same concept. But to those people who did, they can criticize away because they actually have some vested interest. They have some skin in the game. But now with Umar, one thing we're not taught in our schools is financial literacy. We're not taught how to lead a financial group. We're not taught how to construct something. OPM, other people's money, utilizing OPM. Now, Dr. Umar is in trouble or people are saying he's in trouble because that OPM that he allegedly used, people want to know where it went. These donors that have been donating for years, right? Where did this money go? And the lesson in it for us is, man, it's best to have a team, because Black Power needs someone to endorse it behind the scenes, right? In every movement, in every revolutionary movement, in every endeavor, there were always those who were bankrolling the struggle, right? The revolution will not be televised, but you goddamn right, it will be endorsed and funded. And if we're not funding it, or we're not managing those funds correctly, we're going to wind up in a world of trouble. And I think that's where Dr. Umar finds himself now. His character is in question now because everyone's saying, hey, I remember uh, Monique said accountability. Absolutely right. Accountability. That's a huge thing for him. That's a big, big thing for him. Accountability. People are wondering now. People are saying to themselves, dude, we know you accrue a lot of revenue. We know that you are one of the top YouTube draws. We know that you sell our shows. Where's the money going? And again, I don't think that I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think that there's been malicious mismanagement. I just don't think that brother has a team and a squad. I don't think he's handling his money properly the way he should. That's my take on it, right? I don't think he has. And one wonders, is he accepting help from the community? Does he have someone? Does he have a CPA? Does he have a PR person that can help him raise these funds? You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it. It does not seem like it, because man, this situation went from bad to worse, like real quick, real real goddamn quick. So again, and it really, I'm gonna show y'all brother Randall down in Albany, Georgia, how he built a school. And he's going to talk a little bit about what he did and how simple it was. And they don't take any government funding. It's been all fundraising. It's been crowdfunding, right? And he did odd jobs, right? He cut people's hair. He painted houses. They did lawn and landscaping work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you had to do a lot more of that. You had to put in a lot more sweat equity to get those funds up. Whereas Umar, one speech, I'm pretty sure he's racking in, or he should. Let me say, because I don't know the brother's his financials, like they say in the world. You don't know my financials. I don't know his financials, but I would imagine that if Minister Farrakhan in the '80s was getting enough money and he was utilizing that money to to he was utilizing that money to build, then I'm sure that whatever Umar's price tag is, he can use a little bit of that money. Mystic says the timing is interesting. This was short. This was shortly after his bank issue. It was. I agree with that, Mystic. It is interesting, and I'm never gonna join into the mudslinging with any circumstance before I get the facts, and that's what I'm asking you guys to do. Before you judge, before you sling the mud, before you take the slingshot and try to hit Goliath, or what you think is Goliath, first look, listen, and observe. Do your research, because it might not be what it seems, right? Marvin Gaye told us, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So right before I move past this, I want to show you guys what King Randall's Hoots brother is and what he has going on, because he has seemingly executed a school, and it didn't take him that long. It didn't take him that long, and that's no knock to Dr. Umar. It's not a knock at all. It's just to say, man, people are doing it, and I think I want to say in his he started in his bedroom, or in a house, in a regular old house, and he just went from there. You start where you are, you know, and do it like that. But I wanted you guys to see this, so that here we go. Here we go. I want you guys to see it. All right, let's share this. You can hear what the brother is saying, because he's going to talk about exactly what it is. Exactly what it is that he did. And listen, I appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys for your comments. Please continue to put the comments, because I want to see what you guys' perspective is. And I know you've heard, maybe not as in depth, or maybe you hadn't seen these things I'm showing, but
out there.
technical difficulties.
Toilets or something. I showed y'all us buying the toilets, and I showed everything that you guys have given. We have an Amazon wish list. We don't just ask for monetary donations. We ask for people to buy specific things. If we ask for laptops, I've shared it. If we ask to get the kids haircuts, I've shared it. Our program has remained free, so we are still tuition free in our program, like we have been for the past 6.5 years. I just think if Dr. Umar would have started something like with what he had, I think people would have been more apt to give, and I honestly think he would have gotten where he needed to be had he had proof of concept, because he's a great orator. He talks very well. If I could talk that great, I'm sure we'd have millions of dollars raised. But I still started with something. I started out of my house originally. I started in my dining room at 19. And after listening to him, that's why I started it. I just wanted to start something. I knew that I couldn't start something mass scale, so I'm just like, I'm going to start with whatever I got. And we started with $0. I was cutting hair, fixing cars, painting houses. I mean, that's what I was doing to support the program originally, and then I learned how to utilize social media to be able to raise money, and we started doing that, and we went project by project. We failed, we succeeded, etc. But I've always continued sharing what it is that we're doing. So
see if I can start this over with a little bit more continuity, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Please bear with me, and thank you.
With the X Boys program, of course, many people are in the comments and etc. Sharing a video talking about Dr. Umar or whatever like that. I think he's on the cusp of maybe losing his buildings or something of that nature.
Yeah, maybe y'all can hear it. Hit one if y'all can hear that. Hit one in the chat if you can hear the video. If you can just hear it, hit one. Hit two if you can't. I'm gonna wait for y'all. Hit one if you can hear what I'm playing. You heard what he said. He said a lot of things I thought were great. Yeah. Playing something now. Can't hear. Okay. If y'all couldn't hear it, gotcha. He was just mainly saying, let me say this to you guys. He was primarily saying, I cut it off because it was chopping up. That was King Randall. You can follow King Randall on Instagram because he has a school, the X school for boys. He was addressing a lot of the talk about Umar, and he was saying, with Umar, I thought that if he had gave something to people earlier, proof of concept, people would have jumped into it, and he wouldn't be in the position that he's in. He said, I'm as for me, when he started at 19, cutting hair, painting, doing different projects, and when they didn't reach their goal, they pivoted. He said, and I talked about this. He said, I'm not a comedian or anything like that, so you won't catch me on the Breakfast Club. I'm not talking about who people are dating. I'm not offending my donors. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything like that. And that's exactly where I said in one of my videos, like, man, Umar, these extra things turn people off, right? It turns people against him. But he really just talked about how grassroots and how simple it was to do that. So, but the financial lesson in that is, man, understand how to crowdfund, understand OPM, other people's money, understand what it takes, because there's a social skill in that. People are not going to buy from or donate to people that they don't like. Even if you have those criticisms, even if you have those things that you want to verbalize, be smart, right? To me, the fox is always the smarter animal. He's much smarter than the lion because he uses his head. He has fangs, but he uses his head to fight his battles and not his might. Any of us can criticize, but if I need something from you, I might want to be cool about how I present it because I'm trying to get you to buy in. I'm trying to get you to invest. And so, yeah, but just having that knowledge and being in remembrance, being cognizant of these things. And so, yes. Now, moving right along, Sha'Carri Richardson. What do we have about good old Sha'Carri Richardson? Sha'Carri Richardson. I saw where she was when they when they arrested the sister, when they went to arrest the sister, she was flabbergasted. I mean, it was like, what the heck are you doing? I think she even commented, I'm a female. What are you doing? He's the male, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that. But I'm gonna show you arrest video. I'm gonna show you guys what happened. And it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. Quite interesting what she was saying, What up, what up, Free? What's going on, big brother? Man, I'm here and doing my thing. You know where to find me at, big dog. You know where to find me at, big homie. Yeah, you know where to find me at. Man, you can, hey, I know you got some pool. I know you got some pool with the people over on X. Hey man, tell them to come on over, man. And relax themselves, let their body be free, and cool out to the sounds of Brother Faheem or even Lee. They all, it rhymes. You dig what I'm saying? You can get it in there. You can get it all in there. But man, I've been, hard working, holding it down, big brother. So I want to show you guys a little bit. Let me show you the video and a little bit of what she had to say. I thought it was interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting that this sister, uh, what she did here. Very, very interesting. So, what you are now viewing, for you guys who are watching, you are seeing this is body cam release. Track star Shakari Richardson arrested at airport after attacking boyfriend. They're gonna circle. This is her. If y'all can see the, let me do this. This is her right here. This is Shakari Richardson right here, right? And this is her boyfriend. They're just walking along. Now, apparently, they had a little altercation, but you guys, it's not necessarily what's shown; it's what's said afterwards. But let's check it out, though.
Behind closed doors. That woman's a straight up thug. Yeah, then she throws headphones at
She know she has my bag. I want to get my bag, and we're both going to the same place.
Okay, are you seated together?
So we're staying together.
Yeah, seated together.
I'm not sure because we were supposed to be going a long time ago.
Okay.
And so now we're just sitting in the airport.
You guys having just a rough patch in your relationship? What's going on, man? Okay, so you tell me that got heated. Did you lay hands on her?
No, it's nothing like that.
She didn't lay hands on you? Sure? No pushing, no hitting, none of that. Just
Oh, so he's protecting her. Yeah, that's the problem with domestic violence. That's why the person who's being abused, they have this syndrome called battered wife syndrome. He's got.
This is some other cats giving their commentary, right? I'm gonna try to fast forward through there. But you see, the brother was trying to take up for the little sister.
But that person.
Because now that you have these officers involved, is there taking my special bag? Is there anything else that you?
right. So
No, he did not. No.
You're so well. I have to get my special bag. Is there anything else that you could let me know? Because now that you have these officers involved, is there anything I need to?
Yeah, why don't you come talk to me over here?
He thinks he called the cops. It was TSA that called the cops on her.
Wow.
I mean, you with your man, you know if he called the cops or not. Yeah, she's blaming him.
come talk to me over
Blame
here.
yourself.
Hello, hi. So we're in a relationship. I will no longer mess with him or what he had going on. He has some stuff in his bag. I just need to get out of my bag. My iPad, some clothes. I can stick it out, put it in my suitcase, brought his bag back. That's pretty much it. But we have a relationship, this kind of thing going on right now. But yeah, exactly. If I brought his bag back, I took all of my belongings out, I would leave him alone. You don't have to worry about me. I have a flight coming up for myself. Like I said, I'm on the phone right now. I have all of my belongings, but you don't have to worry about me while I'm in the airport with him at all. I just have to get my belongings out. Yeah, do you need my ID for what? If you don't mind me asking? Assault? Oh, Kristen, I assaulted you. Chris, I assaulted you? Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm just making sure. Oh, okay. Oh, one of the TSA people, because I can definitely have evidence of him assaulting me if possible. Okay.
You see that? Now she's trying to get him in trouble. But he clearly never touched her. Right. Did you hear a snap? Oh, dude, I assaulted you? That's something that.
So the flight doesn't leave until 10 p.m.-ish. Okay. So yeah, if you don't mind, can I step over here so I can share my ID? That's fine. Awesome, thank you. Hi, Sissy. So you hear me, right? So this is the position that Christian called me put me into, okay? Because he's a coward.
Because he's a coward. Look at the position. She said, look at the position he put me in because he's a coward. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, no accountability. Everything's somebody else's fault. That's why I don't date black women. That's why.
The views.
Welcome to the world's.
The views being expressed by these two, like I said, do not reflect the views of Brother Faheem and the Leave of Logic podcast. I just wanted to put that out there.
With letting you know who I am, having put my hands on him. We had an argument. I will be honest about that. An argument, and that's pretty much it. The argument pretty much, he's a liar. He lied about a couple things that's personally, just in a relationship. I pretty much officers can understand what a relationship is about, but he lied. He's a liar, and that was something that I kind of just grasped and emotionally. I'm just like, bet you do your thing, but you're asking me for things that is within my possession, and for my right, I don't have to give it to you because it's in my.
He cheated, huh? He cheated. She called him. Yeah. She's pissed. Well, this is all speculation. Who knows?
I just want to be more professional and just come professionally and let you guys know, like, hey, relationship thing, have no problem, and walking up to you guys. So I'm not hiding. Right. Mm-hmm.
Was there any type of physical?
Let me say this. Sha'Carri Richardson, I want to say she got in trouble for marijuana, right? She was excluded from participating in one of them Olympics a few years back. From paying attention to her right now, she seems like she could either be high or inebriated or something. Just the way she is, or maybe she's nervous, right? Maybe she's nervous, a nervous tick because she's dealing with authorities. But from what I'm observing, from how she's her jittery, her nervous nature, right? Her what she's saying to me, she seemed like she could be high right now.
No, I didn't touch him. He didn't touch me. I will be honest. No, I haven't hit him with anything. Not at all. He had headphones that were mine, and I just grabbed the headphones, but not physically. If you would like to ask me, you can ask him, but I don't want anything.
I just want to get your side.
Okay, absolutely. You can ask him whatever you need to ask him. But yeah, you're a coward.
Is it Sha'Carri?
Sha'Carri. Thank you so much, Sha'Carri.
Sha'Carri. What's your phone number for you?
And like I said, I didn't have a problem cooperating because, like I said, it was from a relationship stuff. So that's why I came up.
Do you get your boarding pass by chance? Just so I can just take a photo of that?
Absolutely, yes. And you can contact me whenever you need to. Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
I'm good.
Okay.
But I have to put I'm so sorry you're grabbing me right now.
Yep, he's under arrest.
I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now?
He's got nothing to do with it. Right.
I did enough.
Yeah, a lot of people are like ignorant to that. If there's evidence of some kind of
Video cameras. I literally we were having an argument. I'm not resisting, so you don't have to harder. Christian, are you serious right now? Christian.
You don't get it.
But I understand. We were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing. Okay, I'm not gonna resist. But I'm telling you that we were arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that your guys are doing this to me and he's the man in the situation, I'm gonna comply.
I thought it was interesting that she said the fact that y'all are doing this to me and he's the man in the situation. That was interesting. That was very interesting because the reason why I'm bringing this, and you know what? That's all we need to. This is online. I'm gonna stop right there. The reason why I brought that, I wanted to bring this situation up is because of this. Now, first of all, being cognizant of the law and where you are. You're in a huge airport, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand you are being surveyed. That's number one. But she's a young girl. I get it. She has had much fame and success come to her very, very fast, or at least fast to us, the onlookers, right? It's intense. So you might not be aware of, these things. I don't know. But what was interesting to me was, number one, her incognizance of the law, right? She just automatically assumed that the brother called the law, not realizing it wasn't them, it was TSA, because they were reviewing the videos. Even more so than that, she said, he's a man. Why are y'all doing this to me? So that right there says, okay, in her mind, she has a feminist perspective on who's in the wrong automatically. And this, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, gets a lot of us in trouble. In domestic issues, that gets us in trouble because, the law works like this, y'all. Whoever calls the law, that's who they're going to come out and respond to. So if you ever into it in a domestic or any type of issue, when the law comes, they're going to say, hey, who's brother lead? Who's brother Faheem? Because you called us. They're going to now take your word. Now, it was just fortunate that they were in a public space where it was fully saturated with surveillance cameras so that they could now see and it can be proven, because you saw where she was pushing this man. You saw she threw the headphones down and now she's going after him. Now she's since apologized, y'all. Let's be fair. Sha'Carri Richardson has since apologized. What she should do, what she should absolutely do. I look at her apology the way I looked at Puffy's apology. That's damage control because she understands that not all track stars that admire her are young black females. There are some young black males. And on top of that, Christian, the brother who she's traveling with, the brother who she has a relationship with, he also is an athlete. He's a track star as well. So you got to figure in doing this, when people see this, you've now lost some of your fans, but you've now lost probably a good bit of his. So that's damage control, right? That's what any great PR person is going to advise you to do. But now, you thinking or you conceptualizing that the man is automatically wrong when the legal authorities step up is a problem, brothers and sisters. And the reason why I said feminism, because that has feminism all written all over it. The man is automatically wrong. I remember Brick Gate. Remember that sister, that Ethiopian sister that got busted upside her head? And she said that it was a man that did it. It was that black men don't take up for black women, and that black men watched this, and it was an uproar. This brother is a young brother who's ascending, right? He's a brother with a future. Now, if there weren't cameras, who's to say that they didn't take her word for it? And this brother could have got in trouble. He could have, a domestic, when you're trying to do anything professional, especially in the public eye, right? A domestic dispute, a domestic assault charge can ruin your whole future. So I brought this up. I brought this to the forefront to say this, brothers and sisters, let's try and number one, have some integrity when we're dealing with one another. But number two, let's be smarter than the average bear, y'all. Let's be smarter than the average bear, right? Always be cognizant. In the military, they call it situational awareness. A lot of us don't have good situational awareness with situations, and that can get us hurt. It can get us locked up, and in some cases, it can get us killed. Now, in this case, she almost got an innocent brother that was like her, right? Another black man, a black man to this black woman. She could have gotten him in some huge trouble that could have taken him some years, and it could have cost him a lot of what he's been working for. It could have all went down the drain. Brothers and sisters, we cannot treat each other like that. We have to have a little bit more accountability. We have to have a little bit more understanding, right? Because this more so than anything, when they said she was smoking weed, I get it. She's an athlete, even though you're not supposed to do that in that sport. But okay, I get it. I have to take into consideration where you from, right? She was talking, making a big mouth. I get that too, because a lot of avatars are big mouths. A lot of villainous avatars reign or resonate more with us than the heroic ones, right? You hate Charleston White, but he gets the most views online, right? You hate Clarissa Shields, but her fights are sold out. And it's not just because of her skill, it's because of her attitude. It's the avatar that she projects out to the community, that she projects. That villain role. Floyd Mayweather's the same way. Even Muhammad Ali. These people all had these villainous avatars. I understand that for business. What I do not understand is you now trying to harm someone from within your community, someone that you probably have laid in the bed with at night, and you are trying to get him. You could get him ruined for a long time. Let's not do that, brothers and sisters. Let's have patience with one another, right? Let's have some integrity and let's have some truth between one another, because we know how hard it is. We know how easy it is to get in trouble, but how hard it is to get ourselves out of that same trouble. But yeah, brothers and sisters, we have to work together. We really have to work together. We do. We really, really have to work together. And last but not least, I always run over my time, man. I always try to fit this within an hour, but I can never. Y'all give me a one if y'all agree with what I'm saying. Give me a two if you disagree. One if you agree. Give me a two if you disagree. And if you disagree, in the comments, go ahead on and explain your perspective and your stance. I would ask that you explain your perspective and your stance so that we can hear, right? All right, Miss Bishop. Okay, Mystic. All right, all right. What Kevin Hart say? All right, all right, all right. Yes, yes, yes. Hey man, y'all do something good today. Y'all make somebody smile. Y'all man, speak life into somebody. Man, go outside, touch some grass, meditate. You know, wherever you are, man. Whatever you're dealing with, try to find a way to positively deal with it. Let me hold. Let's see. The mystic said something. The mystic said, "I'm surprised how quickly she turned on him." I'm surprised too. Like, it's one thing, mystic, to have a lover's quarrel. These things are gonna happen from time to time, right? Um, and I would even understand it if he was putting his hands on her. I would say lock his ass up, lock his ass up. But you know what? It's even another lesson in that, and I'm gonna move. It's even another lesson in that. There were how many people around, and they watched this girl who they probably didn't know who was who just assault this man, and they didn't do a thing. Now, had that been a brother slapped the shit out of a woman at the airport, don't you know they'd have tackled his ass to the ground? They would have bulldozed him to the ground. But see, we're socially trained, right? We're conditioned. Oh, that's cool. You know, he's a man. He can deal with it. You know what I mean? It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's other factors that go with that too, right? People have the uh, the cell phone syndrome. They'll watch some stuff before they try to break it up. That's a reality too. That's a fact too that we deal with. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. People sat and watched that. But I get it. I understand it. But Soul Train, Soul Train, Soul Train, the Soul Train Awards. We're gonna go back to Facebook. We're gonna go back to Instagram. Excuse me. I want to show you guys something. Hopefully, we can get through this without it being choppy. And let me pull up. You know what? I need to show y'all some visuals for this. I need to show y'all some what they call receipts. Let me show you guys what people are saying about this. The BT. I remember when this came on, when this was on I saw it on my Instagram timeline, and I put on there, and I really wanted to see what people were going to say. I said, it's about time. I put it in my story. It's about time when it said BT, because it had a picture of Glorilla. I think Glorilla got the best gospel album one year. I don't know how the hell that happened, but I've seen Stranger Things. Beyonce got the best country album. Things that make you go, Anyway, when it came across my timeline, I put it's about time. Yeah, I put it's about time. And I mean that. It is about time. It's about time that they suspend that shit. Really, if I'm being honest, the BT Awards, maybe not Soul Train. I'm not sure what's going on with Soul Train. Maybe the Soul Train Awards isn't getting the viewership that it got at one point. Maybe that old generation is beginning to die out. I don't know. But with the BT Awards, it's pure ratchet. It's ratchetness. It's ratchetness. I remember one year they were out on the red carpet. They were serving drinks. They were, visibly drunk. Uh, it was like, wow, really? If this is what we're doing, understand that when people say they don't respect it, it's only because you're not treating it with respect, right? You teach people how to treat you as an individual, as a community, as a nation. What goes for the nation goes for the community and the individual. And if people see you not taking your events that you claim to love, that you claim to cherish, that you claim have so much weight within the culture, if they see you desecrating it, what do you think they're going to do? If you don't respect yourself, why should I? And then on top of that, what's even worse, you don't own BET. You don't own it. That's when people start to now have all of this shit to say about cultural staples, it's a cultural staple for you. It's business for whoever owns it, right? We established that Black people, we influence culture, sure, but we don't really control it. Not on the mainstream level, not on the commercial level. Yeah, everybody wants to be black until they get them cons that go along with being black, but they make money off of blackness and they feed us poison and toxins, right? You guys have seen it, and I'm getting to the article. Y'all like get to the article, lead. So yeah, let's go. Let's go to the Rolling Stones. Let's go to the Rolling Stones and see what they had to say. Oh, hopefully I don't need no. Is my vision that bad? Shit, them letters got a little bit small. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Like Denzel be saying. See what we got here. Let's see what we got here. There it is. All right, we'll try to make this quick so I can get up out of here. Let's go to the Rolling Stone. I think my service might be getting nervous, y'all. Here we go. I'm a bit nervous. Gotta clean off this. Here we go. All right. So let's see what we got here. What's up? All right. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hit 1 if you can hear me. Hit 1 if you can hear me. Okay. That's what's up. Okay. All right. All right. I appreciate y'all. More people came in. Damn. Maybe I start doing my show silently. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm sorry. Uh let's share this. Let me see something. But we don't want to go back there again. What's going on? What's going on? Once I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Welcome on in. You know, you're always welcome in here. Let's see. I'm trying to get too popular. BT, let's see. I want to show you guys. We'll go with USA Today. We will go with USA Today. Seven, that's my favorite number. All right, here we go. All right. I gotta get my glasses so I can read. Man, you turn 40, man, you can't see no more. It's crazy. All right, so here we go. BT CEO says network has suspended Soul Train and Hip Hop Awards. This is by Melina Khan, August the 7th. So it says BT has reportedly suspended the Soul Train Hip Hop Awards, two of its annual music award shows. So for the 10th year, we have suspended the Soul Train and Hip Hop Award shows. CEO Scott Mills said in an interview with Billboard published on August 5th, about where those award shows might best live as the media climate continues to evolve. They aren't gone. Okay, so they're just finding them a new home, y'all. That's what they're saying. BET declined to comment to USA Today. Where are the BET Soul Train Awards? So, if I can get down here. The Soul Train Awards is an annual music awards show. Soul Train program creator Don Cornelius established the award show in 1987. He was from Chicago, by the way. He was an insurance agent, and he wanted to create something. The Soul Train line is a dance that's native to the Chicago area. So every time you guys do the Soul Train line, y'all are doing something that originated from the Chi. Just a gee whiz information for you. Soul Train program creator Don Cornelius established an award show in 1987 to recognize achievements in Black music according to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. The award shows originally aired for syndication on various cable networks, but moved to BET by the mid-2000s according to IMDb. Soul Train Awards most recently aired in November of 2023. That year was hosted by Keke Palmer and attended by stars like Janelle Monáe, T-Pain, and Coco Jones. BET skipped the ceremony in 2024. What are the BET Hip Hop Awards? The BET Hip Hop Awards, which began airing in 2006, is an annual ceremony showcasing hip hop artists, performers, and producers. The show most recently aired on October 5th, 2024, and was hosted by Fat Joe. According to BET, the Hip Hop Awards celebrates the best in hip hop from the past year. In 2024, awards were given in 17 categories. Winners were chosen by a prestigious voting academy of industry experts, according to the network. Such a shame. Internet reacts to reported suspension of BET Soul Train Hip Hop Awards. Many on social media said they weren't surprised by the show's cancellations. especially because of changing viewership habits and changes in the industry. Might be good to stop and move with intention on how to champion black art, especially since big names don't show up anymore. So that's one issue. They don't have the big draws that go, right? So that means that they don't have that respect for that award show anymore. Now, you might say that that's cool, but you have to look at the other award shows, the American Music Awards, right? The Grammys. Are these people having big draws? Are our artists going to these shows while they're skipping out on the ones that we created, or the ones that are supposed to be intentionally for us to recognize us? Amidst BET Council and the Soul Train Awards and the Hip Hop Awards, I agree it's because we no longer have superstars. Others express disappointment. Canceling Soul Train Awards whilst R&B is having a commercial resurgence is such a shame. I didn't realize R&B was having a resurgence. I mean, I ain't trying to be no kind of way, but to me, the R&B of today is a little bit how can I put this? It's a bit cheap, for lack of better term. It's not as suggestive, it's not as intuitive, it's not as sensual. It's more abrupt, abrasive, and let's get right to it. Let's I don't know, I don't get the same feeling that I got in the 80s, in the 90s. I won't even say the 80s, I say the 70s, 60s, right? When you go back and listen to that music, right, they're singing about people being human beings, people being vulnerable. Men were saying ain't no sunshine when she's gone, right? People were asking what's going on. It's not for, and this is just me, this is totally my perspective. Totally my perspective. I know it's people, y'all put how y'all feel in the chat. It's only like I have to listen to like neo soul artists to get that feeling. There's a brother named October London. I suggest y'all go listen to his song Mulholland Drive. It's a whole vibe. It's a bop. You got Alexis Isley. Uh, Under the Moon is another vibe with a nice R&B. So maybe R&B is getting a resurgence, but I don't commercially I don't see it. So let's see. Oh damn, is that the end of it? Oh wow, that's the end of the oh, that's the end of the surely that's not the end of the man, I think that's the end of the I believe that's the end of the article. That's crazy. Well, nonetheless, my perspective on the awards is the same as it was on the Essence Festival, and I was glad when this happened because I was glad when this happened. I was glad when it happened because hold on, y'all said some stuff. Hold on, let me get what y'all saying. Miss Navi said, I love October London. Mayeli Navi. Okay. Yeah, October London is this. He's the poo on the street. He's absolutely the poo on the street. The Sacred Souls. The Sacred Souls. Is that a group? Or are you referring to the that genre, Miss Bishop? You referring to the genre of like neo soul? October is fire. But the BET Awards and okay. Oh, she said that's a group. I'm about to check them out. But now, when you think about culture, right? People love the BET Awards, and people really, really have a reverence for the Soul Train Awards. I know I do. The Soul Train Awards, I would much rather sit through and watch and listen to the Soul Train Awards than I would the BET Hip Hop Awards any day of the week. But I'm getting older, and I'm becoming more detached from hip hop. right? Hip hop is a young person's game. So a lot of what they're talking about, I'm not there anymore. And it doesn't interest me. I'm more at the Soul Train Awards. I'm more chill. I'm more laid back. I'm more at that stage of my life. But whatever your stage at, wherever you are, people were saying, hey, it's a shame. Well, if it's that big of a shame, young people, black people, we got to start putting our money where our mouth is. If you want to control programming, and I said this about the Essence Festival because a lot of people had their panties got in a bunch, their underwears got all crumbled up about the Essence Festival and how it's being conducted. I hate to tell you, just because you patronize a store does not mean you get to go in there and move the furniture around. See, we don't control BET. Viacom does. And that's the harsh truth, brothers and sisters. So whatever they decide to do, if they scrap those shows, if you really love them, put your money together and purchase them, and then you can control the programming, right? That's the answer to that, right? That's the answer to it. And that's not to say anybody watching was upset or even in awe or shocked or appalled, right? I was appalled. Y'all might not have been appalled, but there were some people that absolutely were. I'm a comment. Uh, I'm a comment dweller. When I watch a YouTube video, when I watch a documentary, I am all over the comments because I like to see the people's perspective and I like to hear their unadulterated, unfiltered views. And a lot of times I just be shaking my head like, damn, okay. But again, you guys, if y'all want to see this, if y'all want to keep it prime time, if y'all want to keep it uh you know, as consistent as you have, we gotta put some skin in the game. We gotta get some ownership. We gotta get some donors so that we can go in there and say, hey, listen, this is what we want. But at the same time, you know, I'm not for us looking ratchet. I'm not for us celebrating ignorance. I'm not for us acting a fool and acting like modern minstrels. That ain't it for me. I don't give a damn if the music is good. Nah, that ain't where it's at. Cause you're making us look bad, bruh. Like Pimp C said, it was a little song in the early 2000s called Sipping on Some Scissor. And Pimp C said, take that monkey shit off. You embarrassing us. That's how I feel a lot of times when we have these shows, when we have these highly visible, highly accessible demonstrations of what our culture is. Because we understand, those within it understand that it is very diverse. We are not monolithic and we are not monocultural either. There are so many, there's just as much subculture in African Americans as there are over on the continent of Africa. If you know anything about the continent of Africa, you understand that it's so many different cultures. There is not one thing in Africa. There's so many different languages. There's so many different histories, and it's rich. It's like that here in the subculture of Africa, of the underculture, right? The culture that is hip hop, the culture that is soul music, the culture that is jazz music. But now, if we allow others to control it, if we allow others to come in and, you know, uh, uh, desecrate it, hey, what do you expect? You really didn't love it to begin with, right? Would you let somebody come into your house and move all the paintings that you have, all the nice paintings? You know what I'm saying? You let them come in and we're gonna take that down and we're gonna put up Marlon Brando, the Godfather, you know. Yeah, we're gonna move that table over there and put it over there in the dining area. Nah, you wouldn't let that. You'd be like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? You don't live here. This is mine. But you gotta own it. It's gotta be yours to even have authority over. And apparently, BET, we don't even have authority over it. And that's the good news. Why is it the good news, brother Faheem? It's the good news because I would hope that when we did have control over it, that we would have programming like the Cosby Show, that we would have programming like A Different World, that we would have programming that showed us in various lights. I even like the Jeffersons. People miss the Jeffersons, you know, for the caricature that Sherman Hemsley was, right? When you look back, people always remember him straightening out the man, him hurling racial epithets. But if you really look at that story, you see that was a black entrepreneur who had scraped and scrounged, and he had integrity, right? He was a very principled and a man with integrity. It was a lot of lessons that George taught just by being who he was on that show. But he was an entrepreneur that had made it over the hump, right? And I don't think that gets exposed a whole lot. Even Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son, we laugh at because he said Big Dummy, the big one is coming, Elizabeth. And I love Red Fox. Red Fox is one of my favorites, right? He probably be on my Mount. Will he be on my Mount Rushmore of comedians? He definitely get honorable mention. But he was another entrepreneur, right? He was an aficionado of all exquisite types and brands of junk for sure. But that was his junk, right? He didn't have to check in, he didn't clock in. And it was a family owned business. He employed him and his son. They kept the lights on. Now, obviously, that was a lot of that stuff was even the Jeffersons, the Good Times, Sanford and Son, these were all stand Norman Lear, I think, was some Jewish guys. They were Jewish guys. Um, absolutely. They were absolutely Jewish cats. But those were a little bit, well, minus Good Times. Those were that was programming, I think, we could live with a little bit better than what we have gotten and what it's morphed and evolved into. Right. And so I want to play this for you. And I'm going to let you guys get up out of here, man. I want to play one more thing for you. I'm pretty hard headed. I know this thing is acting up, but I want to show y'all one more thing. I thought what he was saying made a whole lot of sense.
The Redstone family. They're Ashkenazi who own BET. And now look what's on BET. I mean, a lot of it's negative stereotypes and stuff like that. If black people own their own media, they wouldn't allow a lot of negative stereotypes even on there. Now, let's go back to American black culture back like 1950s, 1960s. They had very low divorce rates. They all dressed really nice. They were all polite and everything like that, you know, and with any culture. But everything started going downhill when they had somebody else take control over their media and started profiting off their own demise. Because I remember even hearing Kanye West talking about this, like 1990s. That's when all this like gangster stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And they had all these like self-demeaning music videos and everything like that. Missy Elliott and calling herself a bitch. They're all using the N-word and stuff like that. It's all like self-depreciation. But you have another group of people destroying somebody else's culture and making a ton of money in the process.
Right.
And that's not right.
And they're making them look bad.
BET and all that, they should own their own media. Everyone should own their own media. But when you don't own your own media, that's when others get to exploit you for their own profit and to your own demise, man.
And they control you, basically.
And they control you. They control which way you vote and everything through that too. BET.
I thought that the young man made a great point. Everyone should own their own media, because when you don't, people can take advantage of you. They can exploit you, and then they can influence the direction that you vote. Media is a strong, powerful tool. It's a strong tool. It is a very strong tool. Very strong. I didn't realize the mind was that fragile, right? If you hear something over and over again, if you see something over and over again, this builds up desire. This builds up demand, right? That's called marketing, right? That's different types of marketing, guerrilla marketing. Whenever you watching a Walmart, whenever you watching one of those HIV medicines, if y'all know some HIV medicines, who they have on there, right? What demographic? That's who they're marketing to. They want you. Or these Ozempic commercials. All of that is marketing. All of that is done through the power of media. So yes, Mystic, but he's speaking facts. Monique said, "Yes, sir. We love Sanford and Son." Oh, I still love Sanford and Son. I still love it, and I look at it for what it is, man. Fred was a free black man. Fred, he didn't bite his tongue, but he didn't have to go clock in either. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but I'm saying you'll get a lot more people. I want y'all to take notice of this, the three that are here. You'll get a lot more people who are more inclined to speak truth to power, right? They'll speak truth to power, whatever. They'll be more willing to share knowledge, wisdom, and understanding when they have something of their own. When you talk about and you think about, or when you read about historically these towns that were burned down, when you read about these towns that were massacred, black towns, it's because they were so autonomous, and there's power in that. They were united. They weren't kowtowing. Even when you watch the movie Rosewood, if y'all go back and watch Rosewood, Don Cheadle's character, he went into the town with his shotgun and said, "Hey man, y'all gonna leave my cousin alone." He couldn't have done that if he worked for them same dudes he was going to leave his family alone. Right? He had his own business. We had our own. We were autonomous. When we have our own, it is easier for us to now have our divine freedom, what we want, right? That autonomy, that economic justice builds the social justice, right? It helps us become our own self-sustaining unit. So listen, y'all, wherever you at, wherever you are, just remember that you are a star. Like I always say, man, leadwithlogic7.com, leadwithlogic7.com. That is where you guys can go and get you guys can go. My hat is dirty, but I'm gonna show you. You guys can go and get the hats, hoodies, and tees. Look at that. Right? Hats, hoodies, and tees, and whatever else it is that you please. leadwithlogic7.com. Shop with the brother man before you do your other man. Look, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate you guys. I really do. It was a real chill night, real chill this evening. I wanted to come to you guys, give you something great. Man, look, it's been an hour and a half. I try to come and do these things within an hour. I might have to push it up to 2 just because of the time constraints. But listen, may we all meet again in a light of understanding, peace, and love, right? Positive energy always corrects errors. Proper education always proper education always corrects error. Positive energy always creates elevation. Please educate Allah's children everywhere. Hey, peace.